This video presentation is SPMD Inc. It's a NASDAQ Global Market stock trading our ticker SPMD. This chart's made a huge move over the last 3-4 months. Down here at $1.50, 200% gains up to $4.50, but it's fighting a pretty healthy resistance point right there. And in Tuesday's action, it tried to push through it on a little bit of an increase in volume up to 237,000 shares traded. Pulled back before the close. Now I want to keep an eye on this to see if it's going to try and finally push back through that resistance point and actually hold above it. Chart itself is looking very nice. We'll take a look at the indicators. As we reference in a lot of videos, on any retrace, MACD hold over top of zero, drop a bullish cross, try and indicate that bullish trend is going to continue. Similar look to the PPO. ADX got down very low. Another thing we reference in charts. When it gets down near 10, there's not a lot of strength of the direction, and it's just a good point to start looking for a reversal and to see the ADX start trending upward to add some strength to a direction of the chart. MFIs, all three components over top of 50, showing people are paying higher prices for the stock. Now this is not uncommon to see the accumulation distribution turn down and the shake and money flow turn down on a day like that. Because of that long upper shadow, there was some selling pressure that went on when the stock spiked, and because it didn't even close really remotely close to the high of the day, you'll see that selling pressure reflected in the accumulation distribution and the shake and money flow. That's of course exactly what happened there. CCI, by definition, the buy point's the break of 100. It's a hold until it breaks back down through 100. Full stow, also turned down. Again, but the stock lost some momentum. That's why it didn't close near the high of the day. Ultimately, still holding over top of 50, showing bullish momentum still in the play. Tricks, it's a very slow moving gauge of trend. Much like the MACD, want to see it hold over top of zero and drop a bullish cross to show that upward trend is going to continue. RSIs, we can call that a volume spike. It was definitely one of the best days it's had. Best it's had in 2013 so far. Increase in volume, upward pressure, always makes the RSIs move upward. For me, importantly, hold over top of 50 to show that bullish momentum is being sustained in the play. Now there's several things I like about this. One, this could be considered a cup and handle pattern, but it's an awful deep drop. It would be considered an awful deep cup. But more importantly, what I like about it is holding the 50-day moving average as a dynamic support. If this breaks back down through the 50-day, it holds below it, I'd be much more concerned that this stock chart's going to develop a downward trend and potentially come down near this 200-day moving average. Now, as far as support and resistance goes, there's definitely some way down here around $2.60. I'm not looking in through there. I'd look more into the area of $3.40. A little bit of resistance back here in October, a little bit of resistance again in December. Bounced off of that spot in February. I'd look to that end for the lower end for some support points. Do see a little bit more right up there around $3.80, which really kind of goes along with this 50-day moving average. That's as low as I'd really want to see it dip, or I'd start to become more concerned this chart is going to start making some lower lows. The primary reason I'd want to have it on radar is because of that resistance point right there around $4.50. Big spot for it, would represent a 52-week high, and it would be a really nice move off this rounded bottom it's made as part of a consolidation off this move off the bottom. As I mentioned, 237,000 shares traded on Tuesday. That's not a huge amount of volume. I'd really be looking to see more of a volume surge, at least up near that 500,000 share mark. Stock obviously can have a pretty heavy day. Here's over 2 million shares traded last August. But I'm looking for this to push above and hold above that resistance point. And because it's such a defined area, the more volume the better, and to reinforce the idea that the upward path of this chart is going to continue. Nice looking chart and one to keep an eye on going forward. But as always, merely my opinion of the SPMD chart. Thank you for watching and trade smart.